a sudden I understood I couldn't be mad at my business partners. I couldn't be mad at my co-producer. I couldn't be mad at my husband for not having enough time for me, because guess what? I was the one at the center of all that dysfunction. And when the Dalai Lama told me that, it filled me with a brand new energy to go out and find out what is peace. And I went on a rampage of interviewing people all over the world, everyday people, leaders from different walks of life, other Nobel Peace Prize winners, even former gang leaders, and asked them, what is peace? And the answers, some of which I'm going to share with you today, not only brought me peace, but I understood that being with these people made me feel peaceful. And so now I talk to audiences all over the world, wherever I can, about how they can have peace and turn conflict into peace, power, and possibility in their conversations and their relationships. You want to hear them? All right. Well, first of all, let's take a look at peace and conflict. We tend to think of peace as good and conflict bad, right? However, peace we need to work at, and conflict just is. It's there all the time. And then we tend to parse conflict into opposites. Somebody is right and somebody is wrong. Somebody is good and somebody is bad. And generally, might makes right, right? Okay, I've got a question for all of you. This is interactive. How many of you, when you face a conflict, you're like ready to jump in there because you like to win?
Let's do it!
Love it. Okay. And how many, thank you for that honesty. And how many of you, when you sense a conflict brewing, want to just jump in there and smooth the waters and make it all okay, right? I see some hands, right? Yes. And how many of you, when they sense a conflict brewing, would really like to kind of vanish, disappear? Yes. All right. Those are all fight, flight, freeze, or appease mechanisms that are ancient, when we used to have to run away from saber-toothed tigers. Cortisol would race through our bodies and would make us run faster or think better or whatever it was to not get eaten by that saber-toothed tiger. But guess what cortisol does for us today? It damages us. It ages us. It gives us headaches. It causes inflammation in our body. It can cause indigestion for 6 hours after the conflict. What are you doing to yourself if you're waking up every morning and dreading, oh, I have to talk to that partner, or ooh, that customer is going to have another complaint, or I just can't stand so-and-so, I wonder how I can avoid them. 6 hours. Cortisol is not your friend. However, if you can approach conflict with kindness, guess what happens? Oh, you get flooded with all kinds of wonderful hormones. One of them is dopamine. Yay! Dopamine is the happiness drug. Or not drug, hormone. Serotonin is the happiness hormone. Then dopamine. Dopamine is the motivator hormone. Yay! You get happy, you get motivated. And oxytocin. Not just women have oxytocin at the time they give birth. Everybody has oxytocin. And oxytocin can do one other thing. It gets shared by the people that you're with. Oxytocin gives you empathy, and it increases trust. What if those people that you have conflict with had a heartbeat that was beating at your rhythm? That's what oxytocin does. Magic. Okay, the 3 practices I'm going to share with you today. It's real fast. Number 1, listen. Who? Me? Yes, you. Listen to learn. Write that down. Listen to learn. We don't know how to listen very well. As a matter of fact, we only remember, on the average, 10% of what we hear. When we step into, and why is that? Because you're listening to the voice in your head. What voice, you said? That's the voice. You're listening to rebut, or you're listening, you're making your grocery list or whatever, but you aren't really listening to the other person. Listen without judgment until they're done. And a magic thing happens when you do that. They are ready to listen to you. Okay, listen to learn. The next practice is look to see. What do I mean about that? We only think what is true is what we see. And yet we have blinders on. We can't see behind us. We don't have the same life experiences that other people do. So take a look from their perspective. I'm going to do a little experiment here. Okay, so if you're looking at this cup, what do you see? It's like, you don't have to actually know what it is. It's a drawing, right? Yes? Do people see a drawing? Okay. And what side is the handle on? Just shout it out. It's on the right-hand side. No, it's on the left-hand side. And no, I don't see a drawing. You're wrong. What the heck are you talking about? There must be something wrong with you. Okay. Well, if I turn the cup around, oh, there's red and black lettering on here. And what side is the handle on? Left, right, correct. All you have to do is walk over and take a look from the other's perspective that you don't happen to agree with. Look to see. And the last practice is leap. Leap right in. Leap. You be the one. Be the bigger person. If you're waiting for the other person, I'm telling you, nothing's going to change, ever. If you're waiting for that other person to sing a different tune or come over and start listening to you or look from your perspective. No, you be the one. Leap right in. Listen to learn. Look to see. Leap right in. And I want to leave you with the words of the theologian Desmond Tutu and the human rights activist. He said, "My humanity is bound up in your humanity because we can only be human together."